This broadcast is sponsored by DeMayo Law Offices, representing Carolinians since 1992. Live from Charlotte, this is WBTV News, on your side.
Now at 11, 3 people are hurt after 3 separate shootings in Charlotte. What police know at this hour. Plus,
the evidence that we have uncovered so far makes no mistake that this is an absolute racist hate crime.
Buffalo police now believe the mass shooting in New York was a hate crime. This as investigators say the suspect traveled 200 miles to get to the supermarket. Plus, Jason?
And we're checking the latest with more rain, possible storms as we head into your Monday, your work week forecast, and also tracking the latest with the total lunar eclipse coming up. Dee Dee?
But first tonight, now at 11, a violent weekend in Charlotte. 3 separate shootings on Saturday. Good evening and thanks for being with us. I'm Dee Dee Gatton. 3 people were injured as police investigate these new cases. Our Nikki Hauser talked to people who live in the neighborhoods where these shootings happened. Nikki?
Dee Dee, we told you about 3 shootings in Gastonia on Friday. Saturday, Charlotte saw 3 of its own, and unfortunately, it left 3 different people in the hospital yesterday. As the sun set in Charlotte Saturday,
it was kind of scary to me, but it happens all the time around here, so.
3 gunshots in separate Charlotte neighborhoods hurt 3 people.
All this was blocked off with cop cars all up through there.
Shawnita Scott says she saw the aftermath of one of those shootings in her neighborhood. Medic says it was on Marvin Road and left 1 person with life-threatening injuries.
My son, I don't want him to be grown up in this kind of environment pretty much. I want the best for him.
Around 6 o'clock and about 20 minutes away, shots also rang out here at Beechcrest Place. CMPD says the person shot also suffered from a life-threatening wound. The same night, 20 minutes from Beechcrest, yet another shooting. People called police from this street, Robinson Church Road, for help.
I was hoping, praying that the person was okay. I hope.
CMPD says that person went to the hospital, but should be okay. Now, we're still working to get updates on how those victims in the hospital with serious injuries are doing. But in the meantime, we know that police are investigating all 3 of these cases and what led up to all of them. In Charlotte, I'm Nikki Hauser, WBTV, on your side.
Nikki, thank you. And we just learned more breaking news. A homicide investigation underway in Southeast Charlotte. This comes after what Nikki just mentioned, those 3 shootings on Saturday. Now, this happened off of North Wendover's Road. CMPD officers are expected to give an update on the homicide investigation any minute. We do have a crew at the scene, and as soon as we learn more information, we will update you on air and online at WBTV.com. Breaking news tonight, 1 person is dead and 4 others are critically injured after a shooting at a church in Laguna Woods, California. This just 1 day after the mass shooting in New York. The man opened fire during a lunch reception earlier this afternoon. Authorities have detained 1 person and have recovered 2 handguns at the scene. Police say people at the church were able to detain the suspect until deputies arrived.
We believe a group of churchgoers detained him and hogtied his legs with an extension cord and confiscated at least 2 weapons from him. He was detained when the deputies arrived. That group of churchgoers displayed what we believe is exceptional heroism and bravery in intervening to stop the suspect.
We're told between 30 to 40 people were at the morning church service when the shooting happened. Right now, residents of Buffalo, New York are mourning and searching for answers. This comes a day after a mass shooting left 10 people dead and 3 hurt at a supermarket in a predominantly black neighborhood. The 18-year-old suspect, Peyton Jedron, is in custody. Federal agents have interviewed his parents and are calling it a racially motivated hate crime. Investigators say Jedron traveled about 200 miles to get to the crime scene, and they are working to confirm the authenticity of an online hate-filled manifesto. CBS correspondent Kevin Rincon is in Buffalo with the latest.
This is not open season on African Americans.
In Buffalo, there's grief and anger the day after a mass shooting left 10 dead and 3 injured.
The message that should be sent is we won't tolerate this.
Angry, upset, heartbroken.
Jerome Bridges says he was working in aisle 14 at the Tops Friendly Market when a gunman wearing armor and military-style clothing opened fire.
I started running, and then he stopped firing for a minute, reloaded, and started firing again.
Police say it took less than 2 minutes for officers to arrive and force the gunman, who was live streaming the rampage, to surrender.
This individual came here with the expressed purpose of taking as many black lives as he possibly could.
According to police, 11 of the 13 victims were black.
The evidence that we have uncovered so far makes no mistake that this is an absolute racist hate crime.
Dion Elliott lost his brother. He was at the store buying a cake for his son's birthday.
And now I have no brother. He's got no father. Is that fair?
This community lost an 86-year-old mother of a retired fire commissioner. They also lost the life of a police officer who was retired working as a security guard.
I can't say enough about our retired fellow colleague, Aaron Salter, who confronted this individual to save the lives of others, and may he rest in peace.
The suspect is in custody on suicide watch after pleading not guilty to a murder charge. Police say so far the investigation shows he acted alone. Kevin Rincon, CBS News, Buffalo, New York.
The FBI has set up a tip line for anyone who has video or information relevant to the mass shooting to go to fbi.gov/Buffalo shooting. Turning now to our forecast. We are taking a live look from our HD tower cam overlooking uptown Charlotte. It was a cloudy and rainy day here in the Queen City, and more rain is on tap for the start of your work week. We hope conditions will be in our favor as the total lunar eclipse starts at 11:29 p.m. according to Earth Sky. We've been talking about it all day. Meteorologist Jason Myers joining me now. Yeah, we all want to see it. We've been talking about it in the newsroom.
Exactly.
Hopefully conditions are good.
And as we were saying earlier, it really depends on where you live. For some folks, you do have enough clearing where you may see the total lunar eclipse. Other folks, you have a lot of cloud cover over you right now. And just to recap everything, the partial eclipse has already started. The total lunar eclipse will begin around 11 o'clock. So coming up here in about really the next 20 minutes. And then the total lunar eclipse ends just before 1 a.m. early Monday morning, but still seeing that partial eclipse, which will continue until about 2 a.m. Monday morning. So again, the cloud cover may be an issue. We're taking a look at what to expect right now. Got satellite turned on as well as the radar. So we're seeing where we have the cloud cover and the rain. And you can see areas south of Charlotte. That's where we have a little bit more clearing. Southern Mecklenburg, York and Chester, Lancaster, this is kind of the prime area right now to see just enough clearing. May see just a little clearing over toward Cleveland and Gaston County, but you do have this storm developing over toward Gaffney. That's lifting up to the north to northeast, so that may be moving more toward Gaston and even Cleveland County here as we approach the midnight hour. We also have some rain toward Wadesboro and Rockingham right now. We're along Highway 74. It's a little more cloud cover along I-40, but once you work your way more to Burke County, Caldwell, you are seeing some clearing there as well, and may see just a little clearing toward the mountains. Again, we've got a cold front to our west that will move in as we head into tomorrow. So we do expect to see these clouds and even a few rain showers to stick around here as we go into the next few hours, and more chances for showers and storms as we head into tomorrow afternoon. So we'll talk more about this forecast and some hot temperatures for your work week coming up. Dee Dee?
Sounds good, Jason. Thank you. An update to a story we brought to you last week as a death investigation. Police were called to Brook Hill Road, where they found 23-year-old Javaris Jaquan Jeter dead at the scene. Officials were initially unsure of Jeter's cause of death. CMPD is now saying Jeter's death is a homicide. If you have any information, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. New at 11, an officer is hurt and a person is in custody after a shooting at a bar in Lowell overnight. It happened around 2 this morning at Icon's Bar and Grill on Westover Street. Officers say someone tried to run from police, and that's when an officer got hurt. They were taken to the hospital and are expected to be okay. Police say they believe more people are involved, so if you have any information, you are asked to call police. New at 11, today many Afghan families in our area came together for a picnic at Hunter Farm in Weddington. The Rotary held the event to celebrate the community, especially Afghan refugees. People gathered around a peace pole, which they say is to celebrate the arrival of people from Afghanistan and to help them make them feel more at home.
There is like two different communities, like American culture and Afghan culture. They are here together, kind of sharing culture and sharing stories.
Afghanistan, the security is getting crazy, so all these Afghan allies are under stress and depression, and this is a great time, and we really appreciate that a little bit we can change their mind and they could able to live in a peace.
Hundreds came out to the event. We're told there is more than 360 Afghan families that are in the Charlotte metro. Looking ahead to tomorrow, a funeral is being held for Charlotte's first black firefighter, Hazel Irwin. The service will be held at New Waves of Joy Baptist Church. Visitation will be from 11 a.m. to noon, with a service to follow. Irwin died last week at the age of 77. Across the country, including here in the Carolinas, parents are having trouble feeding their infants. The problem is a shortage of baby formula, and in some places the shortage has become a crisis. In at least these 8 states, formula is more than half out of stock. Supply chain problems and a February recall and shutdown at an Abbott nutrition plant in Michigan are to blame. Abbott says it could take 10 weeks to get the supply back to normal, and first it needs FDA approval to restart production.
In the long term, we need to make sure that we're finding a solution so we're not in this crisis again.
If you're trying to feed your baby, doctors say do not make formula at home or stretch out your supply, because that could lead to poor nutrition. Experts say you should talk to your pediatrician about switching brands or using cow's milk or toddler formula. Coming up next at 11.
People come from all over to visit us. They come from all over the state to visit us.
Memorial Day weekend is fast approaching. That means community pools will be opening up to kick off summer. What one Rowan County pool is doing to attract more lifeguards. Plus, Jason?
And the pools will be a popular place this week. We've got some hot temperatures. In fact, the hottest temperatures of 2022 for the work week. While that forecast coming up next.